One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SoulCall Global. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I'm founder and spiritual director of SoulCall. Wherever you are on the planet, we welcome you this morning. Let us know where you're tuning in from, or if you tune in later, which is kind of the fun part of being able to do hybrid events, is you can tune in whenever you'd like. But if you're with us this morning, drop a little line in the chat and say hello. And if you're in the room, let's let everybody know we got some people. So we are right here at AIAM in Columbus, Ohio. So if you live close by or you happen to be out on a bicycle, swing by. We welcome you. This morning we have a very special treat, and it's going to be a monthly event where we're going to have live kirtan, Kirtan, chanting, which is inspirational chanting, which leads, it's the art of devotional singing is really what it is, and it leads into a meditative state. It really helps a lot. You know, I'm going to be teaching a book starting in September called The Holy Science. And right up at the beginning of that book, there is an explanation of what the Hindus called the yugas, Y-U-G-A, like the yuga, like there's a song or something, I think like that. But each yuga ascends, and it doesn't mean we get higher or lower in terms of up and down. It's just the vibrational excess. We have two different vibrational dimensional reality. And one of the things that they talk about in that book, we're going to explore together, is the idea that learning how to get into a silent meditation situation after being exposed to this world of duality and the senses, how attractive they are and how difficult it can be to kind of calm that all down and get right into the middle of the stillness. So this kirtan singing, this devotional chanting helps raises us to the vibration, and it's kind of like at the image of the infinite allness, the vibration kind of dipping down. So we reach up and it reaches, and we go hand in hand. And today we're going to take us into that kind of a thought process. The talk today is called Spirit and Nature. So we've chosen a chant that is going to talk about spirit and nature. And one of the lines is spirit and nature dancing together, which is us dancing with infinite source at all times. And ours is to just remember, the art of remembering. So awakening to remember. So I'm going to peek and see Annie. Thanks for joining us this morning. So we're so excited about this, and we're going to teach you some chants. You can sing along with us as we go into meditation. Well, we're going to start this morning the way we always do, with a practice of an ancient Chinese art form, which is also deeply spiritual and healing. It's the art of Qigong, which is energy and practice. Gong is the practice of putting your consciousness on the qi and pulling it into the body and recognizing that we're participating with it at all times. And this morning we're going to welcome Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz to offer a qigong practice. So wherever you are, create a little space and allow yourself to actually practice this, and don't just watch it, so you can get the experience of what it is we're offering. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to continue our inner connection through our Qigong practice. So please, either sitting or standing, be in a comfortable healing posture. Look forward, stretching the vision to infinite space, gathering all the healing qi, good wisdom, and pulling it back to the center of the head, the mind's home. And very gently, naturally close the eyes. Immediately, the entire body relaxes and our inner essence begins to awaken. Very gently, bring the hands up in front of the face, palms facing each other. And very delicately, as if holding a chi bubble, open up just a little ways and then close. Open and close, hands never touching. Feel the space between open, close. Expand, contract. Open, close. Now allow the hands to move inside. Open, closing, inside the mind's home. Open, close, massaging the mind's home, awakening our inner lighthouse. Continue. Opening and closing, massaging, awakening. Then gradually stop the movement and observe inside. Then bring the palms together, lowering into the praying hands position in front of the chest. Very gently open the eyes, smiling from the inside out, and know the more you continue, the easier the inner connection is made. So play with chi and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for that beautiful practice. And so now we're going to take you into an experience of kirtan, just allowing the body to assimilate the light that you just participated with. And we're going to open with a chant called Door of My Heart. These are taken from the chant books of Cosmic Chants. All of these are written by Paramahansa Yogananda. And they got a little supercharge to them, don't they? They get stuck in your head, and that's the idea. It's better than, I don't know, what's a bad song to get stuck in your head? I don't know. I can't even think of one now, but you know when it happens, right? It's like, oh, please. So, Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. And so join us once you catch on, because we won't be able to hear and you won't throw us off.
Open wide I keep for thee.
for a moment of silent meditation. Just keeping the spine straight, feet flat on the floor, palms turned upward at the juncture of thighs and abdomen. Either eyes half open or closed and fixed between the point, between the eyebrows or out to the horizon. Just allow your body to assimilate the vibration and feel your connection to all that is. Bring your consciousness, the focus of consciousness, back to the room, feeling your feet flat on the floor. Maybe stomp them a little or clap your hands, raise your hands in the air like you don't care. But of course we do. Wasn't that lovely? Kirtan. So mark your calendars every third Wednesday of the month. So the next one will be August 17th from 7 to 8. We will be live and in person at the Dempsey Event Center, which is 123 Hyatt's Road here in Ohio, Central Ohio. It's Delaware. 123 Hyatt's in the beautiful, absolutely gorgeous sanctuary space. I keep looking because we started it last week. And the whole hour will be chanting and silence and chanting and silence. We get about 4 songs in if you need details like that. How many songs? And so it really gets you juiced in the energy, and it's on the most gorgeous property. It's just so everything about it is spirit and nature dancing together. It's beautiful. So join us live and in person. And if you're not able to hop a plane once a week and get over here, you can join us. Just go to the website, get the Zoom link, and tune into us from wherever you are in the world. And know that it doesn't matter where our bodies are. It's the consciousness that's always connected. So you can feel the beautiful vibrations. And it sounds really good too. We worked it out in the sanctuary space. So it'll be like you're right there with us. So, something about kirtan, chanting and meditation and spirit and nature dancing together, which is the theme today in the last of our series of the month. The theme for the month of July was rest and play. Rest and play. And when we take the cues from nature, it looks like it plays, the leaves play as they fall from the trees and as the blossoms come forth and bloom, playing with bees and insects and birds and us. Oh, it's this constant connection of subtle rates of vibrations that shift so that we manifest, we show up differently. And that's where the juice is. It's the individual representation of spirit as us that allows for this play, rest and play. And sometimes when we're resting, it looks like nothing's happening, but everything's happening in that assimilation process. Of course, we know this, that's nothing new, but it's just like watching a cake. You put all the ingredients together and you put it in the oven, and if you set the time just right and you set the temperature right even more, all those things interact, all those ingredients interact to produce a cake, right? It starts to rise, you can leave the light on. I know, you remember those, I'm dating myself now, but because no one else will date me, the Easy Bake Oven. Do you remember the Easy Bake Oven? Oh, when you were a little kid, you would just stare at it because you could just see, oh my gosh, something's actually happening, and with a light bulb. That's amazing. But seriously, like when we watch these things that we seem to have dominion over, we put the ingredients in the cake, we stirred it up. It feels like I'm making a cake. But who's making the cake? What's making the cake? We're just borrowing and tuning into the elements that already exist, that we've learned how to harness, focus, mix. Some things work together well, some things don't. I try to bake a cake with cement. We used to do that. You make mud pies, didn't taste the same. Not the same ingredients, right? Not the same thing. So it's us tuning into what is available to us and tuning into the wisdom of the heart. We started with door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee, because it is through the door of the heart that we get into the wisdom of the soul. If you notice, creativity, we each express it differently. Music speaks to me more than any other, although I have an appreciation for all the art forms because I see the same passion and energy in it. It's spirited and it's alive. And what I love most about it is its unique expression through different people. We could even take the same song, line up. The other day, just because I was looking for something else, but on my YouTube feed was the performance of Aretha Franklin singing, "Looking out on the morning rain, woo, I used to feel so uninspired," to Carole King, who was receiving that arts medal. And Carole King almost fell out of, where she was sitting. She was up in a balcony. She just couldn't. But the way Carole King sang it and the way Aretha Franklin sang it is different than what I just did. And they're both amazing in their own way, right? We're all amazing in our own way. Our soul's calling is through the door of our heart. And so dancing together, resting in your wide open heart, it's kind of like, who gets to be, we wrote a chant, which we never recorded, the honeybees are coming, don't be fooled by sugar, when you could have the real thing, the honeybees are coming. Be that honeybee who wants to drink from the divine nectar of source in your own unique soul's calling. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. We're going to be singing two words, Radha and Govinda. And it's taken from Hindu philosophy. Radha so Govinda is an incarnation of the Godhead, and it's mostly identified with Lord Krishna. And Govinda is part of that word is go. He was a cowherd. So that was somebody who sat among cows. And Radha was one of what they called the Gopi girls, one of his divine attendants who played beautiful music, and they accompanied Krishna wherever he went. The Gopi girls danced, and they were always in the flow of spirit. And so when we sing Radha Govinda Jai, Radha was the incarnation of nature, the soul, the representation of the infinite. All these deities around Krishna expressed all of the many faces of the infinite. Like I'm looking at all these beautiful faces here, and you whom I can't see, but I know you're out there. And so Radha is nature, Govinda is spirit. It's the divine that programs not to be hard and fixed, but like today you're going to do this, tomorrow you're going to do that. Remember last week we were talking about who in here considers themselves an artist? Okay, one person. And it is just as a reminder, like we're all singing here, but just this is the point. We get programmed into thinking that artists look like this. You do these 5 things if you're an artist. But if we were all 5 years old and I asked that question, everybody's hand would have shot up. I'm an artist. You know, I watched an elephant paint a painting the other day, and those come around on social media every once in a while, and it makes me remember nobody told the elephant it couldn't paint. Maybe they told me I can't paint, but what do we believe? We believe that if we can tune into, we can do, and to appreciate the gifts of each other. One thing that's really important in nature is the complementary relationship nature has. You don't see the tree trying to be the grass. You don't see the grass trying to be the flower. You don't see, everything shows up fully as it is. And I don't know if you can do this, but I can hear the sounds of all of these things growing in the yard. The blades of grass are very high pitched and their colors are astral. You don't need to see that to know that there's a relationship between all of it. And it's harmonious. It's harmonious. There are healing landscapes. You could just walk out into a place that was intentionally put together by someone who can access these vibrations, and it can heal people from anxiety, from cancers, from all these different things. Just by helping the body, it kind of sings the tones back into your system, which is what that harmonium, that little box I was playing. There's a drone instrument. Sometimes doing talks, it can sound like a drone too, but it's in the box there, and it's intentional to kind of replicate the Om. At the end, we sang the Om. It's every sound, every vibration is encompassed in the Om. And when you get really still, you can hear it. It's rolling over the universe, not just on the planet Earth. So this spirit and nature dancing together. We are the nature, allowing spirit to dance through us in our unique and particular way. And in order to do that, it's really important that we recognize we live on a living, breathing organ. We live on a planet that's alive. It's the Mother Earth. And so by recognizing through the door of our hearts that we are in tune with nature, when we fall out of tune with nature, we're looking at what happens when we fall out of tune with nature. Not to get political, but I'm very grateful that finally some of the tax dollars are going to go towards renewable energies, saving the planet. Like it needs us to save it. If it wanted to, it could probably, I think of it sometimes as us being on an old dusty carpet and the earth just one day going, whew, now what? It's done it before. But the point is, you know, going back to this relationship of yugas, when I'm putting together classes for a year, it's not just to teach classes that I'm interested in. There's like this evolution happening with the things we're rolling out this year. And part of it is to get us back in cycle, to recognize where we are on the planet right now in relationship to larger circles of evolution that happen, not just on our planet, but universally and beyond this universe. The higher we can get our vibration, and we have opportunities to do that now more so than ever, as we move closer to the sun of our sun's sun, things get higher pitched here. They get higher pitched here. We have access to higher frequencies than we've ever had before, but it's turning off all of the incoming that say, you need this, you need this, you need to buy this, you need to eat this, you need to wear this. Turning all that off and getting back in tune with nature. Nature is always going to be the way. So how do we do this? We have a circle of love gathering coming up. This is something else that's going to unravel in October 12th through the 14th, also at the Dempsey Event Center, 123 Heights Road. Because that space is when David Leonard and I started doing these 20 some years ago, we always try to find places that are immersed in gorgeous, supporting nature, so that when we create experiential things, you can walk out into nature and just have it nourish you. You're not walking out onto a crowded, busy street with billboards and horns, and it's to slow it all down, turn down the volume, amplify the love, the light inherent in your true being. There's more information about that on the website. But in September, I'll be teaching the Holy Science. We'll be learning it together because I love the questions that come from that book. It speaks to each one of us in a different way. So it'll be a hybrid event. We'll do it in person and it'll be live streamed. But you could sign up for that now. It's open. And in November, I want to revisit a book that was written in 2013. It's called Spiritual Ecology. Some of you have seen this book and gone through it. It's The Cry of the Earth, and it's edited by a Sufi named Llewellyn Von Lee. And there are many people who contributed to this book. Have you seen this one? It's wonderful. We're going to work through this book in November, but I want to read a little bit about from this book, just in tune with how spirit and nature work together. I had his marks. Got my dream big. It's almost as though we need to relearn the fundamentals that once were natural to us. Like someone recovering from brain trauma, what it means to be a human being, a member of society, part of the family and a community, and of a great community of life, in literally remembering which planet we're on. Can we quiet our nerves and minds for a time, look deep inside our own humanity and our natures to rediscover the medicine to heal our collective madness, right? For we're not dead yet, and the world is still alive to sensitive human touch as long as we extend it. Doesn't it just get you? It's like, oh my God, this just gives me chills. Like, so every time you put your hands into the earth to plant something, it rewards you, doesn't it? You plant tomatoes and it gives you something back for your mini planet, your microcosmic situation. The macro always gives to the micro, and they need each other. It needs for us to walk barefoot, needs for us to appreciate a bird song when we go on a walk, to just stop and stare at the fawns doing whatever they're doing, eating whatever, as long as it's not your plants, Look how cute they are. Yeah, and when the stakes are life on Earth, all else is a diversion. When the stakes are life on Earth, everything else is a diversion, something that others want to make you believe you need so that the god of money can be sustained. Necessary funds are definitely part of life, but greed is when we hit that tipping point, and we're seeing it, So renewable energies, participating as best we can with the wisdom we've gleaned, and not judging ourselves. We'll all get there, but notice, like, how am I contributing? How am I not contributing? When I lived in Berkeley, I had the honor of living for about, 8 months. I rented a room and a half from a retired college professor who wrote a book on healing landscapes. She was on Oprah and all of these things. And she and I have been in communication about creating a landscape like that here someplace. And the whole point of what she was doing was she had such an appreciation for all of life and not sticking garbage into the ground. She prided herself on, in a week, she might have had one, and she didn't put it out in a garbage. There are no plastic bags in Berkeley or in Northern California at all. You can't get plastic bags because they all end up in the ocean. So that's out. Everybody, it takes about a couple of weeks before you get used to carrying your bags to the grocery store, and then you bring them home. You put them in the car, put them where you're going to need them, but it's not a hard thing. We learned to start using plastic bags. We can learn to just bring your own bag. But her point was, everything she could eat was mostly compostable. So the skins would go in the yard, and she had an acre in the back where she just grew beautiful plants and trees and varieties of all different kinds from all over the world, which is probably not legal in California, but she did it. And the point there was, her game was, how much can I live on the planet without creating a lot of waste? So if she needed to go buy a pair of scissors or something like that, she would try to go to a hardware store that just had them hanging on the shelf, instead of, you need scissors to get your scissors out of the scissors plastic. Do you know? So it's up to the charge here is, it's up to us to start demanding these things. I don't need my scissors to be wrapped in plastic. What else can we say? No, thank you. If each one of us starts this little microcosm, it seems like it doesn't matter. It does matter. It materializes. So the charge for this week, Spirit and Nature Dancing Together, is, where can you dance more freely with nature and allow nature to be its big, bad butt self? Where can we stop impinging on nature so much so that it doesn't have to get angry and create things to say, stop it. Come on. It's just like a person. Finally, you've had enough. It's had enough. But what it's never going to get enough of, just like our little human organism, is love, kindness, light, play. So play with nature. Let it be that inner ground of where we are. If you're in a world that one imagines to be the body of God, one would treat that world very, very differently. That's a theologian named Sally McFague. And there's a really great documentary that I've not watched, but I want to watch, called Spirit and Nature. It's Bill Moyers. The Dalai Lama's in there. I think it's back from 2001, or it might be even earlier than that. But Spirit and Nature. It looked really, really great. And that's right where I grabbed that from. And so dominion over the earth means dominion over our own bodies, not over the planet. So in our, keeping ourselves clear from toxins and from imbalance, we also will help keep the planet in balance. And then we can be more attuned with spirit and nature dancing together. And then think about these times where you've had an experience where nature made you feel huge, like you were everywhere and small at the same time. Can you think of a time where you were doing something and you just got like whoosh, caught up in it, expanded all the way? The first time that happened, I was playing in the yard, up in one of my trees, singing in the trees like I did. And it was time for lunch. So of course I came running. It was an abrupt shift of consciousness from, I'm one with everything. Oh, where's my sandwich? And I came down from the tree and ran in through the garage and got into the game room, like the basement, finished game room of the house. And as soon as I crossed, it's typical, as soon as I crossed the threshold into the inside, I stopped. I was probably 8. And all of a sudden I realized there was no I, but I was just connected to everything. And now I'm part of some kind of a play. I'm somebody else. And none of this is real. And I've done this before. And it was very confusing until I heard my mother say, are you going to come and eat or not? And then snap, the little bubble of, contemplation was gone. But remember times like this. I know we've all had them. It's just sometimes they get teased out early on, and because of the pressure, we trade it just to keep ourselves safe. Let this be the time you come back to it all the way. And damn, the torpedo is full speed ahead. Like whatever is incoming for you, let it fall away and let the inside come from the inside out. Spirit and nature dancing together, because we are, in fact, co-creating it as us. It is us. There is no separation at all. I don't know. There are no words to say what it is. It's everything all at once. And so allow yourselves to know that. Get full of yourselves. As I say, get full of yourselves and know that in yourselves, every single one of them has enough potential and power to keep yourself spread out. There's more space inside our bodies than outside. Contemplate that walking around sometime. Go up to a high mountain and contemplate that one and see what happens. So thank you for listening, and thank you for being here, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for doing your small, I don't want to say your part, turning on your consciousness. Get the Q-tips out and clean the radio, clear the line, so to speak, so that your consciousness is getting programs that are just for you. It's like radio free, whomever you are, just for you. And recognize that in harmony, we need all of us to do the things we're doing. So we're going to do another chant for you. Let's take this into a meditation. The chant is Radha Govindajai, and it's spirit and nature. So we're going to sing Radha, Radha, Radha Govindajai a couple of times, and then spirit and nature dancing together. And then my favorite part of this is victory to spirit and victory to nature, because that's how it goes. Here we go. All right. How's this one go?
Victory to spirit and victory to
consciousness back to the space. You can just stay in that though, can't you? You're still there. Yeah. So every second Sunday will be Kirtan Sunday. Every third Wednesday is meditation in the evening. And all of this is at soulcallglobal.org. Find all the information there. And so I'm going to stand and offer some announcements. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Kate. Our camera person, we got a camera crew, we got everybody working full time today. Let's hear for everybody who's worked so hard to learn that. Let's hear for our Kirtan group. Keep it up for yourself. Yeah. In just a few short weeks. So if you are interested in joining our Kirtan group, drop us a line at lisa@soulcallglobal.org. Let me know. And clear your calendars. We meet on Monday nights and we practice some new songs. Yeah, we switched it to Monday night because Monday meditation has been switched to Wednesday. I'd like to mix it up a little bit. Yes, earth-shattering, but is what we're doing. So Wednesday night, every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 is meditation. It's online. Wednesday night meditation from 7 to 8. So not only did we change the day, we changed the time. It's from 7 to 8 every Wednesday. There is no more Monday meditation. It's Wednesday now from 7 to 8 p.m. You can get the link, soulcallglobal.org. But every third Wednesday, as I said, August 17th is the next one. Every third Wednesday is live and in person and Zoom. So it's a hybrid event at 123 Hyatt's Road, which is now the Dempsey Event Center. We'll be live in the sanctuary space. It'll be Kirtan chanting meditation. Join us if you're able. Here in Columbus, Ohio. It's awesome. And it's donation-based. There's a small amount we pay to be in that space, but it's more important that just come and allow your consciousness to expand with us. That's the trick. So there's that. And as I said, coming up, starting in September 13th, for 6 Tuesdays, the Holy Science. I'll be teaching that class based on the book. I would recommend you get it from Self-Realization Fellowship's bookstore to make sure we have the same words and pages and all of that kind of stuff. It's a book called The Holy Science by Swami Sri Yukteswar, who was Paramahansa Yogananda's guru, which was his teacher. And it's such a deep, you could read one line in that and put it down and go walk in nature and contemplate it. It's that deep. So I'm thrilled, humbled mostly, to receive the calling to teach, offer this book. The time is now. So chanting helps to be able to assimilate some of the ideas in that book. I'll just say that. It just helped. So please sign up. I really am humbled to be offering that class. So that'll happen then. Then coming up in October, we have the first annual in Central Ohio Circle of Love Gathering / SoulCall Retreat. Also going to be at the Dempsey Event Center, 123 Heights Road, Circle of Love Retreat. It's David Leonard will be coming in from Huntsville, Alabama. Natalia Zuckerman will be with us. And I think Jack Fowler, another fabulous musician, will be joining us from, he says he's from LA, Lower Alabama. But he's amazing. And so there'll be lots of music, experiential, there'll be movement, music, art, contemplation, kirtan, and just walking around these beautiful gardens. It's going to be an amazing weekend. So information about that is online also. Also, Christy Hardwick, Reverend Christy Hardwick released her book. It's available now on Amazon. There it is. I can't even see it. Radical Self-Tenderness. I knew the name of it, but it looked like it was Radical Self-Tenderness. And so get the book. Sometime in autumn, she's going to offer a workshop, just like a 3-hour workshop, going into some of the practices she brings forth in Radical Self-Tenderness. So we thank you for joining us this morning, wherever you're tuning in from. We also thank you for your contributions. There is something in our newsletter. It's called the Roundup app. And if you take a look at that, no matter where you shop, if you download this app onto your phone, it's a roundup, so if you spent, I don't know if it rounds up if something was like $3.01. I don't know, 1 cent, I don't know. But if you have the Roundup app and make us your choice for nonprofits, it'll round up to the nearest dollar and give us the difference. So I wanted to call it, it's been in the newsletter. Some people are starting to see it and use it. It's just an easy way, how if you go to Kroger or something, would you like to round up for whatever? Round up for SoulCall. It's going to help us do many different things. Coming in September, the weekend of the 10th and the 11th is going to be our food drive. So we're starting, the collection bins will be out at the Healing Arts space in Clintonville and Juice Company in Clintonville. And then we'll be collecting items and donations to buy more items. Your donations go a long way. Our shoppers are amazing. What they're able to purchase with your dollars and dimes, we've given out thousands of pounds of food to people who need it. And so that's September 10th and 11th, but starting next week, we're going to start collecting items so that we'll put it together. If you'd like to be on that volunteer list, please drop a line, info@soulcallglobal.org. If you'd like to come volunteer and help pack the bags of food, that would be great. That'll happen on the 10th. More information on the website. And if you're in need of prayers at SoulCallGlobal.org. We've got a fabulous prayer team who is really sincere in what they're doing. Not that most prayers aren't, but ours are, they really take it seriously. And we're getting great results. Prayers at SoulCallGlobal.org. And if you're in need of Reiki, our prayer team is connected to our Healing Arts team. And they send that invisible wave of healing light. They just direct it with their consciousness and it gets right to you. Amazing. And it works like magic, but that's how it works. So we invite you to allow yourselves to get some help. Asking for help sometimes is the hardest prayer, but we're here for you. So once again, thank you to the Kirtan group. Thank you to everyone who's here. We have refreshments and things like this. I'm so excited to see so many people this morning. And wherever you are on the planet, always remember, ready? You are loved. Peace and blessings. See you next.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.